Moses. I'm not really Moses. That's my name. And of course, nothing what I say here is any advice for financial, medical, educational, anything like that. This is just a set of bull theories that I'm making, and yeah, it's my way of telling my story online. So let's get into it. Alright, thank you. Welcome to AI Health Insight. Today's video I'm revising so this is September the 23rd, 2024. I'm revising a video posted about parasite cleanse from Dr. Clarke, well-known clove, wormwood, and black walnut hull, her triple pro I guess cleanse there. First of all, let's start by looking at her flow chart. This has been I think well designed by her in terms of her cleanse. She has a number of cleanse, so on each one here it's a different targeted organ, and that is how my program runs. My program, which is called the three things that works together, does claim makes a claim, and of course it's all theoretical. It makes this claim that everything that we do is a form of stimulation, either of the entire body, specific organs, or specific cells. And so when you are aware that you are, whatever you're doing, whether you're walking, talking, jumping, sleeping, eating, having a lot of glucose, having a lot of alcohol, having a lot of high fructose corn syrup, bathing on the beach, enjoying yourself, partying, everything that we are doing, you could think about it from a point of view of stimulating either an organ, muscle cells, or specific cells, tissues in the body. Largely, stimulation leads to the creation of hormones. So anyhow we look at it from that trios theory, the creation of hormones is what happens when you have stimulation, and anything that you are doing in life is stimulating the creation of hormones. Of course, when you're in the stimulation process, the body would say, hey, I'm stimulated right now, so of course I'm consuming energy. I'm going to use all the amino acids and fatty acids and minerals that's available to create that hormone or to do whatever activity that is created. And as soon as that activity is over, the body goes back to a state, not what we call rest, but it goes back down to a lower state of, in the same stimulation process, but to a lower state, and we call it rest. Yes, so it goes down to that state, and as soon as it gets to that state, those hormones and whatever was created makes this decision to either stay and enhance, or really some of them don't enjoy the experience, so those hormones need to go away. And that's where we waste our amino acids and fatty acids and all those good nutrients, because we had what we call not so enjoyable experiences. But those enjoyable experiences, ah, they want to have the experience again because they enjoy themselves, so they want to have that experience again, so they want to strengthen. So what they do, they demand more of an experience by trying to create a memory, and to do that they strengthen by using amino acids and fatty acids to strengthen. Something happens in the body around that nature. It's all a theory, so don't take me too serious. So here Dr. Clarke is showing some different cleanses. There is a digestive aid cleanse, 17 days. There is a para cleanse, which is the one we are looking at, 18 days, 18 day cleanse. And there is a candida cleanse, and there is a kidney cleanse, and a liver cleanse, and a heavy metal cleanse. In fact, she has a chart which I don't think I'm seeing here. Yes, so this is the it's found on our site, the entire um, directions to follow, and it's a 4 weeks program, 18 weeks for the para cleanse. Yes, this is the para cleanse one with the same chart, and she would have, well, I guess the team would have documented this very well. And of course, they are advising to do a digestive aid and para cleanse separately or at the same time. You could do that together, and you want to clean out your digestive system and the para cleanse. Now, all these things I don't subscribe to right now. Not that I'm criticizing it, I'm just saying things like a digestive aid cleanse simply means, for me, in my world right now, a digestive aid cleanse simply means cut off carbohydrates in all plants, cut off all plants, and put in something like N-acetylcysteine powder, put in those things to break down LPS, because the para cleanse, which is the clove, the wormwood, and the black walnut hull, targets all kind of parasites, and they have the clove and being antibiotics. That's natural antibiotics. So what I am thinking is, your gut your gut whole digestive system, your stomach, where each pylori could set up shop and cover themselves in this house called LPS. And then lower down you would have candida setting up shop. And what do? Spin out LPS and spin it out so strong that they create what is called the extracellular matrix biofilm. All these things are the same things, just by different organisms. And NAC is strategically important to use along with any of these things, any of these cleanses that you are doing, because NAC not only works at the, I guess, contact level like in the gut, but it works also by being absorbed into the bloodstream and supports the liver with the creation of the detoxifying compound called glutathione. So my protocol for this year would be, accept what is here from the paracleanse is something that I would do in terms of wormwood, clove, and these things. These are natural antibiotics, very well used, and as far as I'm concerned, that is like a flagship product. So well used, has a lot of stories and testimonies, including mine, of the strength of these things and how they help with parasite cleanse up and those things. They are natural antibiotics, as we say. Um, so I would just add that to that protocol here for the digestive aid and the para cleanse, or I'll just do NAC with the para cleanse and make that my whole cleanse even down the road here, because it's gonna give my kidney some support and stuff. Now if you're looking at this here, then I'm not going to talk about heavy metal in this video, but if you're going to look at this strain of cleanses here, which is quite critical, I think she has a very good um, flow chart here to show us how we need to think and the things we need to do, and not when we get sick but when we are well, to prevent ourselves from getting overburdened with toxicity. But kidney cleanse and flush, you could follow her kidney cleanse and flush, of course. And that, a lot of people, if you follow that one or you follow one from I think it's Andre Motis, which speaks about the olive oil and Epsom salts and grapefruit juice, malic acid, which is found in the apple juice, not your box apple but your normal apple juice, or you buy malic acid powder to do the cleanse of the liver and the gallbladder flush. He calls it a flush. A lot of allopathic doctors, GPs, would tell you this is quackery, and they would explain the science of why it is quackery, and they are correct that the things that comes out are not stones. Generally it is the olive oil mixed with the bile when it is hitting there. So they are correct, but they are so correct that they sometimes overlook the power of the truth. The issue here is that you are dumping yourself with olive oil, and therefore olive oil being a what is stimulant, and that's why if you are interested you could buy my protocol. Olive oil would be a fats would stimulate the production of CCK, the hormone, which would cause the gallbladder to squeeze, and given the load of fat that is coming, it will cause the gallbladder to squeeze very much. So it would give the gallbladder a good squeeze. And well, if you have the malic acid, it is shown by certain papers that malic acid does do something to help break down not stones but maybe the smudge of the gallbladder. Again, you could get it from, there's malic acid powder selling now. You could buy something called apple cider, or concentrated apple cider juice, not apple juice like those you buy from the box to drink, not these things. It's just the juice from apple, which is claimed to have malic acid. There are other things like stonebreaker, which has a name. You could just Google stonebreaker and you would see that it is used for helping with kidney and also gallbladder. Now, time has moved on and Dr. Clarke has very good products. So her products have been tested, but there are new products on the markets that is quite good. And you could ask me in the PM, you could direct message me, and my email is at the bottom, or visit my website and I'll give you some direct clues as to what are some of the more comprehensive products that are there for cleansing the liver and kidney over time. Now, what I was saying is that if when doctors speak, real doctors or the trained doctors speak about kidney cleanse and those things are not, they are waste of time or whatever they usually say. This is not true, folks, because these are things that you would try for yourself and you would definitely feel or get some relief from a lot of issues, because especially if you're on a plant-based diet, you would have forsaken the general information of knowing that you are doing something drastically indifferent to the human design. The human design says bile is not just coming from the liver as a waste product, but it's coming with a lot of nutrients, like your fat soluble vitamins are tied up in bile for circulation back up to the liver, because that's a mechanism that the liver uses. It's a circulatory system into the gallbladder, send it back down to the duodenum, works with the food, and then back up into the liver. The bile acids, the salts, also has to be circulated. Now, when you have gallbladder issues and you don't, you reach to the point where you're eating so much plants, you think you're doing yourself a good, not realizing that fats is what triggers the CCK, the hormone that really squeezes the gallbladder. Think about it like the hand to squeeze the gallbladder has a little number you have to press, and that hand is being pressed, or that number is being pressed only when you eat fats. And you are a plant-based eater, maybe on the breaditarian side, like me. When you don't know better, you get yourself fooled, and so you're eating all these flour-based substance and carbohydrates and all plant-based substance, and you think you're doing yourself a good. Maybe you might have a little olive oil in your salad dressing, or a little avocado when avocado is in season, or something like that, and you do not have enough fats in your diet. You start realizing you would develop what I call the smudge in your gallbladder, and even into the ducts coming from the liver to the gallbladder, and the ducts coming from the gallbladder, or the pipes coming from the gallbladder, little pipes, very small pipes, down to the duodenum, because we have been fooling ourselves by doing what is anti-design. The designer said eat fats so that your gallbladder would squeeze, and when your gallbladder squeeze, it sends down the biles. The bile is alkaline to neutralize the acidic food, and also to emulsify the fat, and also helps in terms of the protein breakdown. So when we don't listen, we end up in these problems, and then we learn, like me. And so gallbladder cleanse or flushes may be a needed thing for people who are not eating fats in the diet. And you know who these people are? People who were like that guy before, that calls himself a breaditarian. That's me, folks. So here is where gallbladder cleanse, you could read up about it there. This is important to do. This is important to do if you want to cleanse up. But the most important is to first cleanse the digestive system by getting rid of whatever carbohydrates. You have to get rid of carbohydrates to cleanse the digestive system. Maybe throw in some NAC and then do your parasite cleanse, because the NAC, again, folks, is well known. Well, not only NAC, the bismuth, which is found in peptol bismol. There is also chitosan, but chitosan is a binder, meaning it would do what? Bind away all your nutrients. So you want to use that sparingly. Charcoal is a binder, could bind away all the nutrients. Zeolite clay, a great binder, so be careful with the use, but they are good substances to help bind. But in terms of breaking down the LPS layer, NAC would break that layer. What is that layer? That is the layer, or the little houses that were built by the same parasites or bacteria, H. pylori, E. coli, salmonella. They are the gram-negative bacteria. They are building using the same glucose you are putting in your mouth, grabbing it in the large intestine, if that's where they are staying, in the acidic stomach, in the large intestine, building up the cells and protecting themselves. So when you put in your wormwood and your clove, or even proper antibiotics, what do you get? Nothing. You get nothing, because they are behind their protective layer, LPS. Thank you for viewing.